And that's how the theme song goes. Welcome back to the Constitutionalist Podcast. If you didn't know, this is the premiere podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome. This is the 52nd episode of the Constitutionals. And guess what that means? It's been a whole year since I started this crazy thing. I remember, boy, do I remember the day I said, oh, Chad, talking to myself, Chad, you're going to start a podcast, another one, a third one, because you've done two before that, again, no one's listened to, and no one ever will. Maybe at some point. But now you're going to do it for real, and it's because you got a great microphone. As if I didn't understand the abbreviation part. You got a great microphone. You got a great microphone. You got time under the mic and / camera, and you're good at producing stuff. You listen to a lot of podcasts yourself, so you're ready to hop right back in there and start a new podcast. This time, though, I'm still talking to myself. This time, Chad, it's going to be half of what you think a podcast should be. I think a good podcast clocks in about more than an hour. Comedy Bang Bang routinely does about 70 minutes. Let's see, what else? Who else? But, it's proven me wrong. NPR has proven me wrong several times. They have several podcasts. Planet Money, for instance. 20-something minutes long. The Indicator from Planet Money. 8 minutes at most. We're lucky if we get 10. I don't even think they've done a 10-minute episode. Because it's not that they don't have time. It's just because they don't need it. They tell such succinct stories. S-U-C-C-I-N-C. Succinct. S-U-C-C-I-N-T. Stories. And everything fits into one tiny podcast. If you like the economy and everything or if you're trying to understand it more, or if you want to learn more about it, then I suggest you listen to Planet Money. And if you don't have a lot of time, if you don't have 20 minutes, then listen to The Indicator. They're both of them are a solid, terrific podcasts. Updated every day, 5 days a week. Love it. Terry Gross's NPR. Fresh Air is I think it clocks in at about a little under an hour. It doesn't go over usually. Whatever. You get the gist. There's a lot of podcasts, and I said I was going to do half an hour, and now here I am doing half an hour most of the time. It used to be 20 minutes, and then sometimes it gets up to 40, and then now it's usually 30 minutes, because I just sometimes I don't even have a plan. I go in, I start talking, I start doing it, and then I realize, oh boy, I really like this talking thing. But I could never be a radio DJ, because I don't think I couldn't handle listening to the music all the time. I don't even care if they let me play my own music. I listen to the same thing at the gym. I listen to the same thing when I write. At the gym, it's what is it? What do I do at the gym? Oh, since the gym's Wi-Fi doesn't work, I have to download my playlist ahead of time at home. I can't even stream. I access all this music, but I can only download so much. So I listen to the same thing at the gym. It's like Young Dolph, great rapper, Gucci, Maine, Gucci. Christ, Jesus is one of my favorite episode titles. We'll get to that in a second. The Weeknd. I download new albums every Friday to listen to. I listen to Planet Money when I'm on the bike, when I'm doing a recumbent biking for about 10 minutes. I listen to whole different things, mostly rock and rap at the gym, and indie rock, and indie pop, and pop, and pop. And pop. And then when I'm at home, when I'm writing, I try to mix it up. I do like alternative indie, so I can find just songs that I don't know that I can tune out to. But if I like a beat, then or a rhythm, then I like it. Like Soccer Mommy, I love Soccer Mommy. Lucy Dacus, love writing to Lucy Dacus, and now she's in the regular rotation. The Decemberists, I've listened to them for years when I started writing, and now here I am, listening to them regularly. They have that new album that come out. Let's see, Casey Musgraves. She's country, but her new album is country pop. So yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff. So I couldn't be a radio DJ. Is what I'm getting at. I couldn't be a radio DJ. I listen to too many things. I can't listen to the same thing over and over again, even though I do at the gym. I'll change it up. Don't worry. I will change it up. Now, what are we doing here? This is the 52nd episode of News Time, and usually I sit down and I have a whole list of things to talk about. I revamped the list. I used to do auxiliary topics and then main topics, and then I just realized that I don't care for any of that stuff. So now I'm just doing regular old. I just have a list that says the constitutionalist topics for the week, and there's only 2 things on there, but I have a third thing I want to talk about. And I'm writing it down now, and you'll find out at the end of the episode when I'm done talking about the first 2 things. Listen, there's a lot going on. First I want to address this. My favorite show of all time in the world is The Simpsons. It's my favorite thing ever. Last night, there was an episode of The Simpsons that dealt with Marge forcing the family to read books. And to put down electronics and go read books. So that was season 29. This is the future. This is what the episode is called. Season 29. It is no good read goes unpunished. Now it was a fine episode. It was okay. It wasn't, it's later Simpsons. It's not the best thing in the world. But last year, I even spoke about this during one of these podcasts. There was a documentary called The Problem with Apu from Hari Kondabolu, an Indian American comedian. And he really wasn't a funny documentary. He was talking about how Apu is a very racist figure on The Simpsons. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Go watch that because that is a really good documentary. And I'm a huge fan of The Simpsons, and this is a very big problem. But last night during the episode, no good read goes unpunished. One of the I won't even call this a joke, but one of the references last night, Marge was reading a book to Lisa. She was reading a bunch of books to Lisa, and they were full of racial epithets. So, which means I don't know if they thought of this ahead of time, but they didn't know about. They could have known about this documentary anyway. And it takes a whole year for an episode to get made. So they had to have been planning this for a very long time. So Marge is reading these books full of racial epithets to Lisa. Lisa says, or Marge figures out that they're all racist, and then she says, here's what she says to Lisa. This is very worrying and troublesome, and it really puts in a light that a bunch of white dudes from Harvard. Okay, so here's what it says. Let's see. So Marge says, all right, let's see. Marge proclaimed. Okay, wait. All right, here's what it says. So Marge is editing the books to make it look like they're less racist. Marge goes, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work to take the spirit and character out of a book, but now it's as inoffensive as a Sunday in Cincinnati. Then Lisa immediately dismisses it as having no point. Well, what am I supposed to do? Marge asks. Lisa then, so this is the part that really gets me going. Lisa turns to the camera and says, it's hard to say. Something that started decades ago and was applauded and inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do? Lisa asks. The camera then pans to a photo of Apu beside her bed, which Apu has signed, "Don't Have a Cow Man." I'm reading this from the AV Club article, "What Can You Do About Apu? The Simpsons Used to Know," by Sean O'Neill, published today. And then Marge says, some things will be dealt with at a later date. And then Lisa says, if at all. And then they both stare blankly at the audience. That is if a bunch of white men from Harvard and the writers' room for The Simpsons didn't write that, then I don't know who wrote that, because that is textbook. A bunch of old white dudes who don't know what racist is or racist isn't. They routinely make fun of pretty much everybody. They're like South Park, but less tame. They're like Family Guy, but less tame. They make fun of pretty much everybody, but then when it comes to them getting made fun of, they can't really take a joke. Not a joke. They can't take the jab. It's not a joke, because Apu is a very racist figure, and they should they should definitely do something about it. And I mean, if you could kill off a character, which I would hope you do, I don't know. This is a very strange thing. And Hari addressed it on his Twitter. He had a a bunch of tweets about it, and here's one of them. It says, in the problem with Apu, I used Apu and The Simpsons as an entry point into a larger conversation about the representation of marginalized groups and why this is important. The Simpsons' response tonight is not a jab at me, but at what many of us consider progress. But man, there's a lot of, they could definitely do something like kill the character or actually hire an Indian guy and not Hank Azaria. Because no matter what happens, a bunch of white people are making money off of Apu's very racist voice and all the racist things that pretty much come out of his mouth. Even back then, it's still kind of like, if you all the time when I'm watching The Simpsons, I've always felt, oh, this is very strange. Maybe he shouldn't be talking like this. Then you find out it's a 50-year-old white man back there. Then you go, oh yeah, that's definitely, that does not feel good at all. But I love The Simpsons. But I really need this to be handled in a smart way. That them writing those lines from Lisa, the smartest of all the characters. Them writing those lines from the mouth of Lisa is very troubling, and it sucks when a bunch of elderly white men who have who have been working at the same job for years and years and years don't understand what's going on in the cultural zeitgeist. Usually I'm on the other end of this saying, oh, that's not too racist. That's not too racist. But when it's something this blatantly racist, it's troubling. Doesn't sit well with anyone. I don't care how big of a fan of The Simpsons I am. If this was Star Wars and there was an Indian character, I hate Star Wars, but and I know the rest of you love Star Wars. If this was Star Wars, I would hope you feel the same way. Or whatever it is you people like. I know it's Star Wars. I hate Star Wars. Disgusting. Telling the same story over and over again. Ready Player One bullcrap. All right, moving on to "Nice for What" by Drake. It's a wonderful song. I've listened to it way too many times. And the video's wonderful. A lot of women with white. I texted somebody. The video has a lot of women who are wife material, except for Yara Shahidi, because she is underage, and that's not appropriate. But it's a great video. I'm moving on. I don't want to spend too much. I don't know why I wrote that down. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to mention it. And I'm actually thinking about the song right now. But there is a bunch of movies that came out that are very interesting to me. Digimon Adventure Try. Digimon Adventure Try is a bunch of 6 movies that are all over 80 minutes long, which is crazy. They're all almost an hour and a half. One of them is 101 minutes, but they're all almost over an hour and a half. And it actually takes place. So Digimon season 1 and 2 take place in the same universe. Digimon season 3 is the Digitamers with the cards, and they're the Digivices and cards, and that's like Takato and Guillaumon. And that's a world which I did not realize is a world where Digimon is a TV show just like ours. But anyway, Digimon season 1 and 2 are the same world. These series of movies take place after the after season 2, 3 years after season 2, which is after the movie as well. The Digimon the movie, the first movie, the original movie, Digimon the movie, yeah. And so it takes place 3 years after, and all the kids are growing up. They're all in high school except for Kari and TK, of course, obviously. and Tai is they're all the main protagonists, but Tai kind of takes the reins. And each one the title is a different theme. So it's Digimon Adventure Tries a series of movies. They have Reunion, Determination, Confession, Loss, Coexistence, Future. Loss, Coexistence, and Future have yet to come out in America, but I guess they're out now. And they're very serious. There's very serious, but it still captures the life of what the original Digimon was. They changed a lot of the voices, and the animation looks a lot cleaner, I guess, because they have Saban Entertainment is what I guess they did the original version, but I don't know if they had animated the original version, but I know they did the voices, and they changed a lot of the voices. Tai is the same, but I feel like Matt's different. I feel a lot of them are different. I just can't tell. Maybe I have better ears. I feel like TK is different. I kept looking. So I'm watching. All this to say is I'm watching the first movie, Reunion. It's on Stars, and I'm trying to figure out, because they flashed for 1 second at the beginning of the movie that they were. So basically, the story is that Digimon are becoming corrupt, and they're coming to the real world. They're glitching out and coming to the real world and attacking because they're scared. They don't know what's going on. And at the beginning in this prologue, they flashed to the Digidestined from season 2, which is like Davis, Yoli, and Cody, them getting defeated or something. But it was like a really quick flash, and you could only tell as their silhouettes. So I wonder if they're ever. I mean, I don't see their names on the cast list, so I don't think they're in this movie. I don't understand how you can have TK and Kari and then just say, oh, they don't hang out with those other three anymore. Those other three are gone. Even though TK and Kari were the ones who were part of the connection to the first season. Very strange to me. But I think Digimon Adventure Try. I still have to finish the first movie, but I think it's fine. I'm enjoying my time back with them. You never know what you missed till it's gone, and I guess I missed it a lot. Oh man. Then there's I knew there was 4 seasons of Digimon, but I know there were. And then there's like a Data Squad. There's one called Fusion. There's Digimon Universe, which is a new series. Man, this is crazy. This is too much. That's happening right now at once. All right. And I got the last thing. Let's do the last thing, Chad. This is going to be great. So I thought of this as the, the theme song was playing. And so I want to go over creating the constitutionals is fun and everything, because all I'm doing is sitting down and I'm plugging in my microphone and going to audition and pulling up my templates and the theme song and the outro, and I'm doing it. It's easy, it's fun, it's great. One of the hardest things to do is to create the title. And what I try to do, and I would love, let me pause this conversation. I would love for this episode to be an hour long, but I'm recording late and I'm tired, and iZombie's about to start, and I just want to go over. Okay, and so creating the titles is difficult, and I want to go over just the titles of the past 51 episodes that I have done, because I think that now I want to play a game. I want to see if I can remember what the episodes are about before I click on them. So now I'm on my RSS feed, and I see that I have just 19 subscribers. Thank you very much. 14 listens this week. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate all 19 of you, and I'm one of them. And I just want to guess which ones are which. I can see the listens here, and I can see one of my highest episodes listened to was the first episode. Another one was the 20th episode, and then the other one was the Oprah one, which is 39, episode 39. I can't believe I've done this once a week for a year. This is crazy. I remember I had another job then. I had another 2 jobs then. I was still at the news station before I left. Not my choice. So. All right, let's go. Episode 1, Goodbye Girls. That was the one. It was kind of the one that may have just sparked the idea. Goodbye, because I don't want to write an entire thing, and I ended up writing an entire feature on that. I haven't written a feature in a very long time. I haven't interviewed somebody in a very long time. So Goodbye Girls was, of course, the ending of Girls. Episode 2, spoiler alert. Oh, I wanted to. Another one of the things about the Constitutionals was. Of course I have the premiere show for C Plus Comedy is News Time, and then I also have the features that I used to write a lot of, and so here's how the tier of ideas goes. I had a bunch of ideas. If a feature didn't, or if an episode of News Time idea didn't work out, then it'll be bumped down to a feature. If the feature didn't work out, then it should have gone to Constitutionals. And now here I am, not doing that anymore. But so that all I'd say is episode 2, spoiler alert. It's about what can and can't be spoiled at what point and what time. So I gave links to that. Then Wedding Fever. I guess I went to a wedding at that point, or I was invited to weddings. Let's see. Everybody's getting married and Chad is alone. Also coincidences. Okay, cool. Going to First Dates. That's when First Dates aired. A Kroll-filled Saturday slate. I guess I watched a bunch of Nick Kroll movies and Jenny Slate happened to star, or I watched a bunch of Jenny Slate movies and Nick Kroll happened to star in one of them. There you go. Let's see. Screaming at CISO. I guess we could probably tell what that is. Blair Watch. I saw Baywatch and I didn't want to write a review. Game of Walking Dead Stardom. Oh yeah, that was what I really wanted to do. Walking Dead. Once you leave that show, you can't, like, that show and Game of Thrones. Can't get a job after that. Can't get a good job after that. You can get a job, but it's not going to be something that, like, you can't do like Chris Pratt did. You can't go from Parks and Rec to blockbusters. You go from Game of Thrones, you're going to go down to B movie territory. Just look at the guy who plays Jon Snow. That's what he does. Let's see. E3, G4, and 0 under numbers. I guess that is about E3, of course, obviously. Chad. Then we have La Big Sick Rough Night Land. Let's see. That's about the Big Sick coming out, and Rough Night came out, and I love La La Land, obviously. Actually, let me read that description. I'm not even checking if these are right, but I know these are right. Chad goes through a smorgasbord of topics like La La Land, Lucifer, E3 wrap-ups, podcast, The Big Sick, and Rough Night. Chad does words bad. You know what's really good? I have 52 episodes. I have tried not to curse, and I have not cursed. So that's very good. I mean, with the exception of 2 times where I had to bleep it out, but by accident, because I was getting into it. CISO Slowdown. I was more advice on CISO, which they did not listen to. Dragon Ball Super and Cheers. I was watching a lot of Cheers last year. I watched a lot of Cheers. I'm still doing it, but I'm not doing it as much as I used to. I used to watch a lot of Cheers. And that was like 2 episodes a day, even still. Vanilla comedian, hosted talk shows. Oh, this is probably an episode about how I was sick of people, white people, old white men getting their own talk shows. Not even fair. Let's see. Chad talks about talk shows hosted by comedians that all feel the same. Oh, well, whatever. I brought race to it. My bad. Critically cynical. That was a title from a short story that I'm also explaining. This is great. That was a title from a short story that I wanted to write about a what was it? A critic who was very cynical, obviously critically cynical. But he was very cynical about the work and stuff, and he hated his job. That obviously did not get done but I used that title. The Emmy Initiative. It's something about the Emmys. I don't know. Chad goes off on the Emmys, attempt to be diverse with their nominations and how the noms are affected by popular votes. Passengers, movies blows. Snowfall on FX, Orphan Black on BBC America, Baby Driver, Disney XD XP. Oh, rip. Oh my God. Rip. Talking about talking. Oh, I don't know. That's episode 15. I'm only on episode 15 right now. Let's see. Chad talks about interviewing comedians who don't have anything useful to say. Oh, I must have had a real bad interview that week. He's getting real tired of one-word answers. Time to step it up. Funny peeps. Also, Raven's home on Disney. Cartoon Network and Disney XD's cartoon release schedules are terrible. Vice ups its video presence. Reviewing the new season of Insecure. Oh, okay, cool. Cutting down Act 3. Oh, I was talking about how movies need to cut down Act 3. How they need to chop that up a little bit, right? Chad talks about movies seen in the bottom decades. Jessica Williams, Incredible Jessica James. Oh, yeah, and Win It All. Yeah. And Netflix comedies are too long. Yes, that's right. TV shows were too long. Whatever, not movies. Happy Birthday, C+ Comedy. Yeah, it's great. I know what episode's about. Orphan CISO. I definitely know what that's about. Horrible. Horrible was a particularly bad episode. Episode 19. Where I thought it was I watched a bunch of horror movies. And then I talked about Skater Boy and a Wedding Crashers sequel, and then Chris Gethard shows back. But it was also a very bad episode because I did not feel good, and I did not want to do it. And I thought, man, am I going to end this show at 19 weeks? But here I am, 52 weeks later. Gushing over Jimmy Pardo, which is also one of my highest listened to episodes. It's where I saw Jimmy Pardo the Friday before, and it live in Atlanta at the Vortex, the Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta, where I have also performed open mics, not getting paid though. And I embarrassed myself. I didn't know what to say to him, and I just kept saying, "Oh, we're the same. We're the same. You and me. We're the same." Oh my gosh! I shook his hand though. It's a great handshake. He's still on the stage. He was taller than me. He's shorter than me in real life, but he's still on the stage, so he was slightly taller at that point. You're the worst, Guardians of the Galaxy. I was talking about You're the Worst, and how I hate Guardians of the Galaxy. I hate a lot of things. I hate racists. I hate Nazis, and I hate Guardians of the Galaxy. I also hate how this morning I was making a video for Instagram and Premiere decided to crash on me when I was trying to save. I had to restart the entire video. It's not very funny. It wasn't even a video that was for C+ Comedy. It was for my personal use to put on an Instagram story. 19 seconds long. And I spent an hour on it and it got deleted. I was so angry. And then it took me all day. Guy went to work, came back. Took me all day to figure out how I did a bunch of effects on it. The issue was I put a bunch of effects on a 19 second clip. I cut it all up, and then it just ruined. It got ruined. Whatever. I keep going. This is a 26-minute episode. I meant for this to be 20 minutes. Emmy noms. I talk about the Creative Emmy Awards. Okay. It gives his predictions for the real Emmys. Okay, that's great. Vice Horseman. Vice Principals and BoJack Horseman came back. Lunch Party, that's about Search Party, I believe. And, how I went to my friend's concert. Was that really 6 months ago? Man, that feels like a month ago. Yeah, I went to the concert at the Vinyl in Atlanta. Was it the Vinyl? It was the Vinyl. Yes, because Center Stage is right next door. They're in the same building. Shepard's Dead, I bought Mass Effect Andromeda, which I have not played since. Because I work all the time and I'll play a video game. It's only going to be for like 20 minutes. So I bought Mass Effect Andromeda and I was playing it, and Simpsons and Bob's Burgers were back. He sure does know a lot about the SNL hiring process. Yeah. I talked about that. Yeah, it's great. Okay, moving on. Episode 26, The Death of Monologue Man. Oh boy, I don't know what that means. We're halfway through this right now. I want to talk about how I pull out the titles of the episode. So typically I just listen to it, I scan over it, and I find a particular set of words that interest me. So for Shepard's Dead, I might have said something about how Shepard might be dead. There you go. For Jimmy Pardo, I basically mirrored it after his how he and Matt Belknap they named their episodes. They named their episodes after the celebrity they're talking to, and then in the description it has like running races with John Hamm or something like that. So Lunch Party, I was talking about Search Party, and I was talking about lunch, I guess. Oh, launch, and I kept mispronouncing launch, and I thought it was lunch, but that was in my head. That's not. A lot of this stuff happens in my head too. Or Orphan CISO. Orphan Black CISO is going down. Cutting down Act 3. Just cut down Act 3. Yeah. Just stuff I want to happen. So Death of Monologue Man. Fall TV shows were here. 9JKL sucked. I talked about the First Look review and Kingsman in a theater alone. Superhero movies. And late night comedy host rankings. I don't know why I ranked them. I hate ranking things. Jan Former's The Last Pilot. I saw him do Transformers, and I talked about pilots. The pilot process, right? Yep. I think that's what I did. Yeah. Episode 28, A Homecoming for the Female Covenant. I saw Alien Covenant, and Homecoming. What is that? What was I talking about? Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay. And a lot of times, if it's not driven from my words, it's driven from that's why I try to get from my words, because it's usually picked out of stuff I don't know. Anyway, Treat or Treat. It was Halloween and I wanted treats. There we go. Hey, why is there a David S. Pumpkins Halloween special? Memory Screen. I mentioned that in the episode. That's episode 30. What is that about? I don't know. Joker's Wild dropped the mic. Okay, Late Show. He talks about movie tickets. Oh, how I collect movie tickets. Oh, how Memory Screen. Okay, yeah, I remember that. If things get serious, color change. Yeah, okay. That's when I talked about the color of change study. They talk about there's a small amount of women and people of color in charge of TV shows. Still the same. Growing Up, Taylor Swift. Let's see what that is about. That is episode 31, 4 months ago. I talked about Taylor Swift's new album, Reputation. Oh, God, such a good album. Then I saw the new Thor. Yeah. It's not the first time I've seen a Marvel movie since 2015, but because of Spider-Man Homecoming. Sure Party. Talked about Mike Sure. I also do this thing where I talked about how my favorite comedians of all time. Oh, my God. I did that for like 4 episodes straight, and then I said, I gotta stop doing that. Coco Lady Bird Show. I talked about Coco and Lady Bird and something else. What's the show part? The show part is the Chris Gethard Show. Like, of course. Fallon versus Colbert, Donna ratings. Of course, talked about Fallon and Colbert's rating things. Get Out Golden Globes. How Golden Globes only choose things based on race. That's very true. Big... what I'm saying is I don't think Get Out was the best movie of the year last year. There were better movies. Same with this year. Black Panther, there were better movies. All I'm saying is I wish the same amount of people that saw Black Panther would have gone to see Thurgood. With the same person, same people. Chadwick Boseman. There you go. Or was that Sheet Weddle? I don't know. Whatever. Go see Thurgood. If you're gonna talk about seeing a movie, yeah, but it's a Marvel movie. It's $100 million. No, you can't support one. You gotta support them all. Big Little, Atomic Blonde. I talk about Big Little Lies and Atomic Blonde, of course. The Things TV Carried. That was 3 months ago. I talk about the fall TV season. One day after Christmas, we're back at it. Chad talks about some other stuff. I gave I gave up my recommendations for the stuff that I didn't get to recommend on News Time. Age of Aquarium, we talked about going to the aquarium. Oprah 2020. Oh my God, this is so long. Over 2020. Let's see. Oh boy, it's about a time for this episode. This week, Chad covers those darn Golden Globes. Yeah, okay. Little Despicable Lies. I talked about, what is it? It. I talked about It. Despicable Me. I'm really bad at this. Little Women. All right. The Little Women TV shows. Will the real Davies please just rap? I talked about Davies. That concert I went to. It took me 3 hours until he came out at 11 o'clock and he rapped for 40 minutes. One stand-up at a time. What is that about? I talked about one day at a time and... me getting back into stand-up. That's great. Lana Del Rey. Talked about Lana Del Rey. How she's a boo. Sub the Jewels. I saw Run the Jewels. I went to see a lot of concerts this year, guys. Hey Now You're a Dead Pilot. Oh, I talked about Dead Pilots. Is that true? I did. I had to talk about Dead Pilots. Walking Dead. Analogy series. Free Idea for Daddy's Home and Bad Moms crossover. Then I got a phone call. An interview with the Sklar Bro. Oh, that was the phone call that was unexpected. All-Star Weekend. Okay. Let's see. How to Train Your Bachelor. Talked about How to Train Your Dragon and Bachelor. The How to Train Your Dragon timeline. All Hail Black Panther. Talked about Black Panther and the timeline for All Hail King Julian. God, I can't believe How to Train Your Dragon and All Hail King Julian are over. It's been so long with those shows. Crazy. I just dropped a marker. Beyond the Ebbing Project Esquire. Talked about the Oscar movies that I didn't get to see, but I finally saw. Christ, Jesus, which is my favorite episode title of all of these. Oh my God. Next to like Lunch Party and Shepherd's Dead, I love Christ, Jesus. My favorite episode title. I was being compared to Sterling K. Brown, William Jackson Harper, Lamorne Morris. Yeah, of course. Table 19, Final Space, The Detour, Game Night. Yeah, I talked about a lot of stuff. And Migos is the new WA, that's all. Zen Diaries of Power Rangers. Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling and the Power Rangers. And A Literal Cost. I don't know, that was last week's episode. I don't know what that's about. I don't remember anything. Yeah. I'm talking about when I'm going on a date again. I hadn't gone on a date in a minute since because I did this again last week, but I had just recently been broken up with. So I went. Oh my god. Okay. Prior to the last woman I was dating for a bit, I hadn't gone out on a date. Right? No, prior to that. Prior to the third to last one. So maybe between, I would say, no, not November, because that's when I got broken up with again, or I got ghosted. I would say December. That's like mid-November to January. Yeah, yeah, that was my longest stretch of not dating for a very long time. So what do you call that? A month and some change. And then there's this episode which I don't know what it's going to be called, but we have fun. We have fun here at News Time. What is this? The Constitutionals. The Constitutionals. We have fun here at the Constitutionals. Listen, it's time for me to go, but I'm going to hang up. If you like what you heard, why don't you head on over to cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have any news or reviews. I haven't done news or reviews in a very long time. Where we've got some features, some interviews, and some other good comedy stuff. Only I can provide you with. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook if you're still on that. And go to the webpage, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can see a premiere show, News Time, which is a news show that I do weekly. Hey, even though I keep ending up shooting late and editing very, very late. If you knew what time I edited last night, you would be surprised that News Time came out this week. Then, whatever. Then News Time is great. I love doing it. It's so fun. I was in the middle of a sentence and I interrupted myself, but it's fine. Whatever. This week, News Time is about how ESPN, CBS Sports, and Bleacher Report are all releasing or have released streaming sports networks within the past month. CBS Sports released theirs on February 26th. Bleacher Report released Bleacher Report Live last Saturday. And Disney's releasing ESPN. Turner is controlling. Turner controls over Bleacher Report. But Disney's releasing ESPN Plus this Thursday. And it's going to be $5. Bleacher Report Live is going to cost some money in the future. If you want to watch partial minutes of a game, 5 minutes will cost you $1, and $5 or $7. I think it's $5 or $7 will cost. Well, I mean, for a quarter, it'll be like $5. So, and they'll alert you if something big's happening in game, so you can just tune in for that, and so you can just buy them 5 minutes for $1 or something like that. If there's like a particularly high stakes fourth quarter that's going on, so that's pretty cool. But and they teamed up with in the NBA to do that. But each one's offering different things. So yeah, they're all offering different things, and so I compare which ones are worth your time and money. So go ahead, if you have cut the cord and you want to watch sports, one of those options is a good option, and the other two are fine if you can stand it. And then, that's it. Oh, I have my friend Shantiana Keys helped out with shooting the cold open and the in-slate, which is really great because I've been, for I'd say about a year and a half, making fun of her for not doing it. And then our friend Greg did an episode of News Time last year, and he also made fun of her. Well, because I wrote it in the script, made fun of her for not doing it. And then she finally did it. And I just texted her at the last minute. I said, hey, would you want to do this thing for me? It'd be really nice if you did. I didn't say that. I didn't say the last part. And she said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then we shot it on Sunday evening, and I edited it on Sunday night at like 11. And here we are. I work a lot. I really hate working so much. But tomorrow's my day off, and I might go see Blockers. We'll see. It's $2 off Tuesday. $2 off Tuesday. So hopefully I can head over to the Aurora Cineplex for that. All right, then. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I love you so much. And I will see you in the next 52. Right? Yeah. Here's to another 52. All right. Bye.